guys? Turbocharged 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day so far and that everything is looking up. Guys, I hope you're hyped for this episode, which is the Monaco Grand Prix, the most prestigious race in Formula 1. It's gonna be a cracker, guys. Guys, usually you know if you watch other F1 YouTubers that the Monaco Grand Prix is a reasonably short video because it's a boring race. This episode was not. As you guys can see here on the performance chart, we as Toro Rosso have made a few upgrades and we are literally on the gearbox of McLaren, who are the stripe above us. Also, Sauber, Force India and Ferrari have made a slight upgrade. So the midfield is very close together and the top 3 teams are also very close in contention for the top battle. Further than this, my goal for the season, if you guys don't know yet, is to catch Haas and Renault, who are the yellow and the white line, and I think it's more than possible to do that. I even think we can beat them by the end of the season when it comes to the performance chart, but we never know. As you guys see, this is actually not practice 1, this is practice 2. It was coming down in the beginning of practice 2. This is about 20 minutes into the practice where we were back to intermediate conditions. I just went out onto the track because the race was partly cloudy, the weather forecast for the race, and I decided just to go out onto the intermediate tires and to feel how the car feels in intermediate conditions at Monaco. The conditions were quite treacherous, but nothing that was too hard to handle. Are you guys ready for qualifying? Because I am. Let's get this Toro Rosso into Q2. Let's go.
We're here at the magical Circuit de Monaco for one of the most challenging qualifying sessions on the Formula 1 calendar. Who can add their name to the illustrious list of Monte Carlo pole sitters here today? Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
So guys, in the pit box, ready to fly out of the pit lane and just to set a blistering lap around a track that I actually hate to drive on because it's so hard, but even though I hate the track, I always enjoy the race at Monaco. As you guys can see here, my gearbox is heavily worn. We're on 73% wear. That means the chances of me having issues with my gearbox in qualifying and in the race are almost 100%. So a like equals a prayer. Please, let's hope this gearbox holds together for the entire race weekend. Other than that, a quick cap on the tire compounds available to us this weekend. Guys, the tires you see on the car now are the pink striped hyper soft tires, which are the softest tire compounds we have available for this weekend at Monaco. The second type of tire we have available for this weekend are the purple striped ultra soft tires. Personally, one of my favorite tires. They have an endless amount of grip, obviously before they wear out, and they just look cool. I mean, purple looks cool on everything. Then lastly we have the super soft tires, my favorite compound of tire because it is by far the prettiest, with a red stripe on the side of the tire, and it's also probably, if you look at the F1 2018 calendar, the most consistent tire you have despite the soft tires, the yellow wall tires. But we don't have the soft for this weekend. The hardest compound we have are the super softs. Long story short, my first 2 runs, guys, lap 1 and lap 3 of my qualifying runs were not fast. You guys know the second lap I just used to cool the tires back down for the third lap. And as you guys can see, I was P17 with still 9.5 minutes remaining, more than 9.5 minutes. And I definitely knew there was a lot of time to be found. I made a mistake on a few corners, didn't hit the apexes, or either just went slightly wide. So there was definitely time to find. Another thing I want to tell you guys about Monaco, the reason this track is the most prestigious track to win at on the F1 calendar, like in forever, is this is a very hard race to win, and it's a very demanding race. Demanding in the manner of it's a very tight and twisty track. There's really no margin for error, because if you make an error, you're either going to break a part off of your car because you're going to hit the barriers, or you're going to end your race by hitting the barriers. But Monaco is a race every F1 driver wants to win, including myself, but I don't think season 1 is going to be the season to do it, so let's just go on to my flying lap, my final flying lap. Through the first corner, 3rd gear, clip the curb, up the hill, and we go up to 7th gear on the course for this fast left-hander, down to 4th gear to make the car turn in, down to 3rd gear for the right-hander, open the throttle, little kick of oversteer, down into this, I would say a semi-hairpin, 1st gear, 2nd gear, down into the iconic Monaco hairpin, 1st gear, up to 2nd just to kill the oversteer. Then we've got 2 right-handers here, 2nd one being a very tight corner. We open up the throttle into the iconic Monaco tunnel, a tunnel I want to experience one day myself. I don't care in what car or what scenario, I just want to experience the tunnel. Down to the hardest corner of the track, this double chicane, left, right, left. Stay away from the barriers, clip the curbs. Then we go into the fast section of the track, this fast left-hander, plant your foot through here, don't lift, into 7th gear, up here, miss the barrier, clip the curb on the inside, and we're up into the final 2 corners. 1st gear, get the car to turn in, 2nd gear, kill the oversteer, stay in 2nd gear for this final corner, stay away from the barriers, open the DRS and fly down the final straight, and we are in P what for the Grand Prix? Only P16. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me! Okay, race strategy. We can still do this. Okay, but guys, something else I want to show you that's kind of a little bit, it's very bad news actually. My gearbox. We are on 75% wear, meaning if this is a semi-okay race, that means the gearbox is going to sit on 85-86% wear, meaning I'm going to have problems with this gearbox. You guys already saw in qualifying I had problems. Let's just hope and pray for the best. Let's go.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That was how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean Sea. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco then. It's not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo, and although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now I want to ask you about Pierre Gasly. They're in for a tough race today. They'll be starting out of position due to a penalty from earlier in the weekend.
Yes, it's not the position you want to be in at the start of the Grand Prix. Penalties like this put you in amongst the traffic. But we know they have more pace than those around them, so I expect they'll make some strong progress in the first few laps.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position. And starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Bottas, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Raikkonen, Magnussen, Grosjean, Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz, Perez, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso and Ocon, O'Connor, Van Dorn, Marcus Ericsson and Sergei Sirotkin, Stroll and Pierre Gasly rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
When
Guys, what an epic start from the leaders. Sebastian Vettel is still on the gearbox of Lewis Hamilton. They're already pulling away from the rest of the pack. But here we jump onto my POV of my Halo, and this was quite a very interesting start, to say the least about it. As you guys see here, I go down onto the inside and make a big dive up a few cars. I don't corner cut, but I give the cars on my outside a bit of a squeeze there. And you're going to see now what happened because I gave them the squeeze. But first, we go down here after this castle section to the Renault and the Haas battles very intensely. I go up for the dive on the inside of both of them, and I make the move stick into the iconic Monaco hairpin. This is how it looks off of the race cameras of the TV. It just looks amazing. But jumping back onto the POV of Carlos Sainz's Halo, sorry for that. Here we go. You can see he's kind of boxed in already. He gets a big shove from behind, almost loses control of the car, and he just gets pushed wide. He clips the barrier, breaks off most of his front wing, and then the second culprit here is Fernando Alonso. You guys will see me blasting past on the right hand side. There I go. But he gets pushed aside by Marcus Ericsson, and he hits Sainz. They go up side by side up the hill, not the way you want to go up this hill because it's very tight, and then up into the left-hander. Alonso misjudges his braking, and he breaks off most of his front wing as well on the back of Sainz's car. By the end of lap 1, I don't know how these two kept their positions, but they up into the pit lane to get their front wings changed, and they basically have to go onto a 2-stop strategy, because even if they put on the super soft tires, which are the hardest compound, they won't make the end of the race. So ultra softs, like I thought, the wings are getting replaced, and these two guys have a busy weekend still ahead of them, because now they've got to play the catch-up game. So, other than that, the start was not as chaotic as it usually is at Monaco, but things are going well. At the end of lap 3, you guys can see here, we're onto my POV. I actually get asked for a strategy change.
Understood, copy that.
Back with me, guys. We head here onto the end of lap 4, and Daniel Ricciardo is making a very suspicious early pit stop. I actually want to see what he does here, because he's the first car to enter, and even the Hypersoft tires are supposed to last longer than this. Oh, I see. Danny Rick is trying to go for a massive undercut because he strapped on a second set of Hypersoft tires, so all he was going for is to push like crazy. Back onto my POV, the end of lap 6, and Nico Hulkenberg in his Renault behind me is pesting me a bit. He wants this position, and as you guys can see, I've already got a problem with my gearbox. I have to short shift immensely, and that just takes away all the power that this little Honda motor already doesn't have. So that's a little bit of a problem. As you guys see, I defended the position successfully from Nico Hulkenberg, and then the race leader Valtteri Bottas comes into the pit. Oh no, Lewis is the leader, sorry about that, but he fits on a set of ultra soft tires. Now the question is Danny Rick gonna jump him with the undercut? Let's see if this Red Bull had the pace that the Mercedes had. Where's Valtteri? Where's Valtteri? He's out there going outside the pit lane, and yeah, he doesn't jump Valtteri. So that was actually a wasted strategy, to be quite honest, because actually with the Hypersoft tires he needed to jump. Now we go on to the leader of the race, Lewis Hamilton. He lets go of Sebastian Vettel, who stays out for another lap. Lewis pits, and this is where things start to get interesting, guys. Oh, okay, Kimi Räikkönen also comes in for his pit stop. He's not really a big favorite to win this Grand Prix at all. And then that, we jump back onto my cameras, and as you guys can see, I'm coming down, I'm barreling down the home straight, and there is Hamilton. I steal a little bit of slipstream as he gets out of the pit, and we go up this hill. He's just ahead of me, but I really badly needed this position to secure a points finish. I dive up the inside of Lewis at a turn which you don't usually make an overtake, but I'm up in front of Hamilton. I can't precisely remember what the position was for, but who cares, I'm in front of Lewis Hamilton. Here we have Sebastian Vettel just on the next lap pitting. Now the question were me and Lewis going to jump him, or was he going to jump us? Ferrari make a very clean and fast pit stop. Oh, but Vettel gets held up by Max Verstappen, who also makes his pit stop. I think Max just cost Vettel the lead of the Grand Prix. Let's see, Vettel is coming out of the pit lane. There's that beautiful Mercedes AMG GTR safety car. We come here, and Vettel has not made it in front of me and Hamilton, and he might even lose his position to the Force India of Sergio Perez. You guys can see someone's front wing broke there. I don't know who that was. Vettel and Perez are side by side up the hill, and Vettel's on the outside. He's going to make the move, stick on his fresh tires, which by the way are still cold. He has the inside line for the next corner, and he squeezes out Sergio. Really rudely, actually. But furthermore, guys, things are looking good here on lap 10. I'm in the lead. I still have to make my pit stop, but I feel good because I'm on a one-stop strategy. Lewis comes up from behind and... Oh! Contact!
Okay, clear.
Contact! Lewis is out of the race, I'm sure, but I saw just tires flying. And just pieces of front wing going everywhere. What happened there? Oh, no. My front wing's broken. I'm going to have to go for a pit. There's no way I'm going to be able to stay out with an orange front wing. What happened here? Let's watch the replay. Lewis, what were you doing, dude? There was no gap! And Vettel was an innocent bystander. Lewis, what were you doing, dude? Guys, watch here. There was no gap. The gap like opened up for like a split second, but not a way where you can look there. I already started closing before Lewis started moving over. Oh, controversy here at the Monaco Grand Prix. Chaos. Poor Sebastian Vettel. He was an innocent bystander. He had nothing to do with it. He just and he hits Lewis from behind. Oh, that was hard. Oh my soul, and everybody just come blasting past. Here's Kimi's point of view, Vettel's teammate. He's behind the two Red Bulls, and then suddenly there is just parts flying everywhere. They even take avoiding action by hitting the wall themselves. I don't know how many of them got wall damage at that stage, but oh my soul. Lewis! Come on, dude, what was he thinking? Guys, comment down below what you think went through Lewis Hamilton's head at that stage. I mean, seriously. Oh well, thank you Marcus Ericsson for breaking off the rest of my left side of my front wing.
Wing damage.
Damn it, man, I'm already going so slowly. Oh, I can't believe it. I was in such a good position. Guys, look, I can't even make the corner. I just skip over the head of the brakes, hit the brakes so these guys can come past me. There's nothing I can do. The car doesn't, when I turn right, the car doesn't want to go right because the weight's on the left side of the car and my left part of the front wing is broken. Sorry, I'm trying to talk so quickly. I'm so devastated at this stage. I can't even talk properly. Oh my soul, and here comes the longest pit stop of your life. It's worse than a penalty because the front wing is such a delicate part to replace, they have to do it slowly. Second question, are these super soft tires even gonna last me till the end of the race? I mean, seriously, are they even gonna last me till the end of the race? Oh, 29 laps on these tires. I don't know if the tires are gonna make it. I know 25 laps they do comfortably, but I don't know, guys, I don't know. Let's go through the top 10 after all this chaos. Sergio Perez from Marcus Ericsson, from Esteban Ocon. Fourth place is Valtteri Bottas, then Max Verstappen, and finally in 6th place is Kimi Raikkonen. Then we have Lance Stroll in the Williams in 7th place, Kevin Magnussen in 8th in the Haas trying to pass Stroll, and then in 9th and 10th position we've got Charles Leclerc, a good top 10 for the Sauber team, and in 10th place Nico Hulkenberg in his Renault. Guys, I'm devastated. I'm literally dead last. I'm P18. Well, okay, 17. Fernando Alonso went for a pit. This is lap 14. I've been driving a few laps, so as you can see, I'm actually catching this train here at the back of the grid. I know Daniel Ricciardo, with his wonderful 3-stop strategy, is behind these guys, and he can't get past. Like I told you guys, Monaco is an extremely hard track to pass on because of the fact it being so tight and twisty. Guys, I'm baffled. I want to know what went through Lewis's head. There was no gap. And even if there was a gap, I started moving to the left-hand side before he even started moving to the left-hand side. Oh my soul, I don't know what to say, guys. We head on here into the middle of lap 15. We go into this first little hairpin, into the second iconic Monaco hairpin, and I go for a dive. Ooh, that's a little bit of a hit on Carlos Sainz. Sorry Sainz, sorry. I gave him a little bit of a kiss on his side pod there, but I let him go. I'm not an unfair driver. We head here through the Monaco tunnel. An epic piece of track to drive through every single time. The scenery of the Monaco tunnel is just amazing. We head here onto the end of lap 15. I'm on the rear end of Carlos Sainz. I'm on his gearbox. I'm just looking for any way to pass. Guys, at this stage of the race, I was so angry of what happened because I knew I was going for a very good, positive top 10 finish. I even thought I was going to be able to get into the top 5. But yeah, I just dive up the inside of Carlos Sainz, I give him a mean squeeze. I was just so mad. You guys can still hear, I'm still baffled. I still can't talk properly. It's just, I don't know what to say, guys. We head here on to the end of lap 16. I just dive up the inside of Roman Grosjean. I just wanted to pass everybody, guys. I needed to get back into the points. I worked too hard just to see Lewis Hamilton take it away from me. I'm sorry. I was going to push until I get into a points paying position. Grosjean tries to come back at me, but I was just like, no way, Jose. We head here onto the end of lap 18, and the race leader, I still can't believe I'm saying this, the race leader, Sergio Perez, is making his final stop onto the super soft tires, and he's going to the end of the Grand Prix. Marcus Ericsson, the second place runner, is also going in for his stop, but unfortunately he's got a 5-second stop-go penalty for what, I honestly don't know, but there we go, the tires are being swapped on. Also going on to super soft tires, he's going to the end of the race. And now you can see the two Force Indias are in first and second place. Perez from Ocon, then Ericsson is in third position for the Sauber team. It's looking very good for these midfield teams. Max Verstappen is in fourth, with Kimi Raikkonen in fifth. Then we have Lance Stroll in sixth, Kevin Magnussen in seventh, and Valtteri Bottas in eighth. I don't know how we fell behind so far. I honestly don't know. He must have had a penalty or a wing change or something in the pit stops, but he's in eighth position. In ninth position, who is this actually? I think it's me. Is it me? Yes, it's me! After all the pit stops I cycled out, I was back in ninth position with Fernando Alonso in 10th. So guys, as it stood here, I would get 2 championship points. Alonso goes for a little bit of a look, but I defend successfully. At this stage, I was just begging for everything to go right. And then we head on to lap 30, and Bob's your uncle. Hello, worn gearbox. Guys, look here, the car didn't want to shift gears at all. It didn't want to upshift or downshift. It like made one shift every, I think, 5 or 6 seconds. It was so bad. I revved up the car completely. This damages your engine. Stuff just wasn't going my way. I lost the position to Nico Hulkenberg. In the middle of lap 32, my gearbox was still wonky. The 2 McLarens, I don't know what happened to them. Actually, they just disappeared behind me. I think one of them went for a pit, and I don't know what happened to the other one. I honestly don't know. As you guys can see here, I'm 6th gear, 5th gear, 4th gear. Here I realized the gearbox still fixed. Well, the gearbox is working. I only have a few laps to go. So I was in 10th position, 1 championship point for this position after everything I've gone through. Come on, little Toro Rosso, just hold together. Please. Pretty please. We head on to the final lap of the Grand Prix. Things are looking so good, but I have to get this car to the end. I have to get her to the end. Come on, little Toro Rosso, you can do this.
We're in 10th position. Hulkenberg is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 13.7 seconds. They're on old ultra.
Congratulations, Sergio Perez and Force India. You guys were the cars to beat today, even though you capitalized on a mistake, but still, you guys are off. Congrats.
This is the way we drop the beat now. That's right. The beat now. Drop the beat now.
How do you think it went? You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? You're surpassing all expectations. Can anything or anyone stop you? You had a few bumps and scrapes today. Who would you say is at fault? Appreciate your time.
Guys, what a Grand Prix. From gearbox issues from qualifying to a massive crash on lap 10 between myself, Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel, to further gearbox issues in the race, to front wings breaking, to debris on the track, to I don't know what everything happened in this Grand Prix, to force India getting 1 and 2 on the podium, and a Sauber coming home in 4th position. Max Verstappen took the last step on the podium. Unfortunately, Marcus Ericsson just missed out on that, but still, hectic galore. There was nothing to contain this race. It was amazing. As you guys saw, I unfortunately failed my contract objective of qualifying 11th, and I've got the same one for the next 2 races. Hopefully I can get it done this time. Other than that, you guys see I go for 2 upgrades on the car, 1 aerodynamic, 1 power upgrade. You guys might ask why I didn't do the major engine upgrade. I felt more comfortable doing the 2 minors and doing that major the next time I buy a power upgrade. So just bear with me, I will get there eventually. And we've got a few upgrades coming on the car that will hopefully boost us above McLaren. That would be amazing. But guys, let's fit new engine parts, some slightly worn engine parts, but basically we're going to have a brand new engine for the next 3 Grand Prix. And finally, let's swap this damn gearbox. Hallelujah, new gearbox, where we're not gonna get a penalty. We've survived. But guys, other than that, this has been Turbocharged 51 with the Monaco Grand Prix. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, ding the bell, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!